Didn't think I'd need a second stack of pumps and tanks. I really didn't. Good thing I've got them. I thought I just picked up those pumps. Holy crap, did I go through 50 pumps that fast? Wait, I don't think I need anything else from you. At least not for this go around. I'll take this and this, but then I'm going to send you on your way. I'm going to temporarily put this here to get that train to come up here. Damn it. Rolly rolls. The landlord of the day. Well, you're not looking hard enough. Here's the northeast corner of Africa. There's the northwest corner of Africa. There's the tip. Just the tip. How are you, Rolly? Thanks for being here. I don't need the chemical plants right now. Working, sleeping, eating. Sounds like a country song. Hunting, fishing, loving every day. That's what I was looking for. Well, you're making all that money with those rental properties now. You should be able to afford a subscription here and there. Lols. I'm getting into oil. A little tricky on me. Tricksy. All right. I took care of that. I'm going to keep a stack of those because I know I'm going to need them. None of that. What's the matter, you? What are you missing, huh? Pipes, pumps. Oh, geez, those things too. Oh, look, pipes and pumps. I just have a hard time believing I went through that many pumps that quickly. Hi. Now, if I look at what I did here, I probably did it backwards because I normally would put my inputs there. But that's all right. I spent a lot of time engineering this and I'm not going to mess it up. I'm out of stuff and things. I'm out of things or stuff. I'm out of things to stuff. I have stuffed the things I am out of. I outstuff those things. All right. Why don't you have enough blue? You don't have enough blue because blue just isn't producing enough. Done pretty much all I can here. Just not able to keep up. And you have 327 on you. I built another one here, and you have 463. Good. Why won't you give me a playlist of this music? Well, there's an interesting interview I want to watch. Chris Williamson interviewing Patrick Bet-David. Well, I'm not a big fan of the word interview. Is there anybody here that has more pipes? Yeah, you do. I could melt a bunch of you down for a bunch of pipes, too. Yes, it's almost 2 o'clock. It's sometime within the day frame of when it would be 2 o'clock. And so, of course, kitty cat, you want some treats. Reach out to pet her and she like almost swats at you and kind of runs away because it's like, you don't have food. You can't reach out to me. It's not how this works. You give me treats or I run away. Okay, so now I am missing, oh, some pipes still. Just a few undergrounds, and then 16 of those things. Who brings those normally? Who has brought those to me in the past? Oh, what have you got? You would normally bring them, wouldn't you? Thank you, Eclipse. Yeah, you would normally bring those to me. It's very kind of you to follow. I appreciate it. I'm not quite a Factorio noob, but I'm always willing to take advice, even if it's bad advice, because that can lead to some of the funnest solutions. Just don't take any advice from Rolly Rolls. He'll make you set up alarms that just annoy everybody. Help. I'm being held prisoner in a fortune cookie factory. Is that what's going on, Bubba? Rolly, that is a straight up lie. Oh my god, you are such a liar. That's just rude, dog. Yeah, let's just keep building over here. I am going to need to send so many of these back. You might as well just go back. And you might as well just go back. No, wait, not you. Stop. Stop. Okay. You can come up here so that you can turn around. I'm trying to do a curved wall segment, but dragon teeth. Well, first of all, don't use dragon's teeth. Use a maze. Use a maze design. And when it comes to doing corners, if you want to take a look at my blueprints, you're welcome to take a look at them. Obviously, you don't need to use them, but there is some value there. But Bubba, let me show you what I do with corners. Dragon's Teeth, the problem with Dragon's Teeth is that the biters simply find the diagonal and then path directly through it. And so Dragon's Teeth, as it were, the original concept of Dragon's Teeth, which is spacing them out, doesn't work against biters because then they just rush through. So in this little space here, I'm going to bring up my defensive blueprints. So your simplest solution is this, right? And the reason this works, 7 walls. Okay. 7 walls dragon teeth is this. Excellent. So the reason this works is Mucky and I figured out that the biters will not path 9, but they will path 7, and of course they'll path 5. The traditional dragon's teeth. Okay, good. So if we go to take a look at my defensive things and we look at the corners that I use, I have 2 kinds of corners. I have inside corner and I have outside corner. Now let's take a look at outside corner. It's you bitch. Defenses outside corner. Now this is an outside corner for a house, but I've also got an outside corner for a 4 and a 2. So let's take a look at the 2, and let's take a look at the 4. And once you see what I'm doing here, you're going to recognize the pattern, and you'll be able to do it in whatever context you're trying to do it in. Let me know if the music's too loud for this description. So here's the 2, right? And this is tileable, by the way. You can flip this and just turn it around. So there was a bit of work done to make that happen. And apparently I have a pipe in here. Eclipse, if you hit exclamation point blueprints, you will be taken to a GitHub repo, which has most of my blueprints. Not the most recent ones. Thanks, Rolly. I didn't know you could type. But the premise that I'm working from, Bubba, is that Alexa. The premise that I'm working from, and it might be easier to see in this 4-way here, is that I have the concept of, and here's the 4 straight, right? My 4 straight is going to look like this, and it's going to look like that. And how do I join them together? So if you put the 4 straight like this, and you line them up there, and then there, that's where this came from. Is I wanted to be able to have my 4 straight turrets, again, tileable, so that they would work for me. So this is mostly that, with a little bit of work done to make it so that the corner works. So, and this is in my blueprints, Bubba, if you wanted to see it and then customize it for what you're trying to do. But yeah, this is pure dragon's teeth, right? But except it's not, because a behemoth biter can't path through here. If we had a behemoth biter trying to get in here, it can fit through this. Behemoth biters are 2 tiles wide. And a behemoth biter will see this, this, and this as valid destinations. And so it will actually squeeze through a 1-tile opening if there's 2 tiles on either side of it. But they can't squeeze through an angle because this is not an opening. Right? Because as far as the game is concerned, this is not a path, right, between these 2 tiles. Angle tiles like that. Humans can pass through it. The character can pass through it, but not the biters. So, you know, as you know, the traditional dragon's teeth would stagger these like this. And the problem with that is that the biters would path through this. They do see that as a valid straight line path, and they just beeline right through your defenses. So, this is what I use for a 4-layer corner, outside corner. I also have an inside corner, which, oh, that's my house. I don't actually have an inside corner for turrets because I don't use them. But the other one that I have is my end cap display, which is 2 corners smashed together. If you were to look at my house display, this is an end cap display. My end cap is just 2 outside corners smashed together. I worked really hard to try and get this reusability to happen as much as I could. And it doesn't work perfectly. You're going to have situations where it's just like, it's off. And you just have to accept that in the corners and forget about it. But Bubba, the other place where it works really well is in this situation here. Now, this thing looks like a big behemoth monster, and it is. And that shouldn't be there. This thing, which might be easier to see here, this thing is a collection of straight walls, and then outside corner, inside corner. So if you were to look at this, this is an unloading station in a hostile zone, one that needs protection on both sides. But if you were to look at this, what you would see is that this is an outside corner. See how I've got elements of the outside corner right there, all that blue there? So it's an outside corner, and it's an inside corner. Right there. So this whole thing is still my three primary pieces. A tileable house, a tileable funnel is really what it is, because this is the core of my defensive walls, is this funnel right there. So, and again, you're looking at traditional dragon's teeth. And yes, the biters do path directly through this. You know, they go here and here and here. And they will path all the way through that if they're not attacked or bothered. Fortunately for me, they get every decision point. They have to wiggle. And because the space is narrow and because the flamer turrets are all focused there, they just die. Versus traditional dragon's teeth, where it's just bing, 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 and you know, it's a whole row upon row of these, where they just run right through it, get to your main wall, and then attack. Also note, I've got holes. These are not solid. Biters could run through them. This survives rampant. This I developed as part of rampant. Biters don't get a lot of damage in on that. So hopefully that helps, Bubba. All right, so that's a little bit of rail segment built. Let me know if you have more questions. Or if you think you found something better. I didn't know Fantasy Old Bard included heavy piano. And then the piano stops. I think I got to get the superstructure of this in place before I wire it up. I got, what, 3 more to build? Okay. What did I do here? I don't think I'm going to need 200 of these now because I've done most of the clearing I'm going to do for now. No crap! I just got to keep building. Just got to keep building. I don't think I need you anymore. I need what you could have, so you can go away. Yes, I'm running slowly because well, that one that had all those pipes in it, is it back? And you've got good pipes, and you've got good pipes, and you've got good pipes, and you've got good pipes. But you've got the goodest pipes of all. Go on. And you have no Logi bots in you, so you get some Logi bots. Oh, I didn't have any. Oh, I don't have any. What? Did I run out of stuff or something? How did I do that to myself? How did I do that? That's not supposed to happen. Thank you for the help. Instead of going for the curve, I should go diagonal. Yeah. Yeah, curves don't. Curves don't. Curves are hard, okay? I was really, really hoping to be able to build those train stops. But apparently that's not in the cards. Speedy base. Ooh, what have you got on you? Speedy Basic. Lamps. Pipes, yeah, that's great. Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. And we're full. All right, let's go build red. This still got a ton of work to do in order to be able to get this online. I don't even know if it'll work. I mean, I won't know if it works for long term. And like, I keep seeing these spurious iron trains that are just sort of hanging out, even though there's... I don't understand why they do it. My phone has just beeped at me that it wants me to agree to its new terms and conditions for me to be able to use it. I think not, Al. I think I'm going to be hitting cancel on that dialogue like I have for the past year since I got the phone. You don't dictate terms and conditions to me. That's not how this works. Actually, lube is probably the most important thing I could make here. Good, Bubba. Very good. It's good to hear. You're always welcome to share screenshots in my Discord, with the knowing that I will heckle you, even if they're good designs. That's just the way it goes. Nothing you can't be so proud of that I won't make fun of it or mock it. I got a lot of pumps. I didn't think I'd have that many pumps extra. Lots of extra pumping. I think I'm done with this. Got all the pipes, got all the pumps. I got many extra pumps. I think I'll take the robo parts because I think I'm low on those, but this has worked out quite well for me. I'm pretty happy here. Don't have enough power poles. But we're going in the right direction, I think. I need to get a train or two back here. You need to be somewhere where I can make use of you. Like there. Discord does need an occasional kick in the butt. Power poles. Nice. I got plenty of pipes. Lamps and power poles. Wow. Cool. Are there any rails here? Good. Almost didn't see you. You're hiding back there. With your lack of chemical plants and lack of rail and kind of lack of rail and you're lacking in rail. 400 rail is all I need to finish this. How much rail do I have? A couple thousand. So you take that. I don't think I'm going to need power poles now. Need those chemical plants. Go away. Come back to me when you have chemical plants. Don't want trees in this space. You just make things more difficult for me right here. Seem to be missing. I thought I just placed these. How could these have already timed out on rock? And stuff and things. I'm confused about that. Like these things. How did these not get placed? And what else didn't get placed? Like those pipes. that we're calling to be placed. Lauren, hello. So if one were to place resources on a world map to be realistic, how would one choose that? Resources like oil and perhaps uranium seem fairly easy and obvious, but what about the other staples? Well, you would have to take a look at surface availability of resources. What have you got? You got iron, copper, coal, stone. All right. So you've already handled ore or oil, and you've already handled uranium because you think you know where those are. That's fine. Um, Stone's going to be pretty much available anywhere, although it would be more popular in the mountainous regions. So if you were to say where is stone going to be, stone is going to be in places where there's mountains, which in your case, because I know what your algorithms are doing, it would be cliffs, right? So what I would recommend that you could do in that regard, talking just stone, is you would say wherever there are cliffs, there will be high concentrations of stone deposits. And wherever there is water, in general, there would not. Although water's edges, especially like cliffs of Dover, sort of thing, some shorelines might have high concentrations of cliffs. Although that's so rare, it's probably not worth considering, especially considering that there are plenty of mountains in the United States. You've got the East Coast mountains, you've got the West Coast mountains. South America has got a massive mountain chain. Italy, obviously, north of Italy is a huge mountain chain. So those are the places that I would look to satisfy the where do I put stone? Where do you put coal? You put coal in places where coal exists today, which is in places where there was a lot of vegetation. So I would say you put coal where you're going to find a lot of trees and where your ground is green, that sort of thing. So hopefully you weren't just in an ad for all of that about the stone. Um, Iron and copper are the only two left. And when it comes to iron and copper, I don't know. I don't have a lot of background on that. But I would take the same philosophy with iron and copper as one would take with stone and coal. What geographic behaviors that your noise map could replicate would you expect to find stone or stone could be spread in a vanilla manner, but what I'm saying is that, well, like look at what this thing did. These are mountains. We know that these are the mountains north of Italy because we know Italy and we know what mountains look like. But look at the pattern that the Adler did. Is he took what an RGB world looked like a mountain and he turned it into sand and dirt. Okay? So what I'm saying is that when your noise map shows up to create something that has a pattern of land surface, which is, in this case, dirt 1, dirt 2, dirt 3, right? In a marbling like this, that's a place for stone. And then similarly in coal, I would put coal in areas where you have high density of forests or high density of dark green. So what I'm saying is, even though it's not necessarily going to be exactly geographic to say, oh yeah, the northeast coast of the United States always has a lot of coal. What I would do if I were looking at how you're doing things is I would say when a certain terrain type pattern is dominant, I would use that as my trigger to say I'm going to place an ore patch here. I would tie stone to this sandy dirt combination where you have those two merge. I would place coal where you have forest and green, or dark green, light green. Now, where you put iron and copper, I don't know, but I would use a similar things to say, if you have a lot of desert, just desert, and, nothing else, maybe desert and whatever this dirt, where desert and dirt meet, that's where I would have the algorithm put oil. And then uranium, whatever you've used to trigger oil. So it's not a perfect solution, but it's something to get you anchored on that says, okay, I know I can keep track of when my algorithm places dirt and sand together. I can use that as a trigger to say, all right, I also want to put stone here. And then just pick two more permutations and two more permutations or combinations. When these two surfaces meet, I'm going to consider putting this resource here if I haven't placed it nearby or some other condition doesn't cause it to say no. That's my brainstorming on the idea. You can poo-poo it all you want, but that's just the basis of maybe this will give you something to move forward with on your goal. Well, you know what? An idea, just like a person's rectum, smells different to each person. And we all have them. And in some cases, we have two. Isn't that right, like them? Dude, if you want fair, go to the county fairgrounds. Life ain't fair. Life ain't even close to fair. In about 10 minutes, I'm going to take a break. Now, this is kind of a waste of power to put all these down now. And Lauren, the reason I went with that philosophy bend on it like that was I wanted to give you programmatic way to identify rather than a hard-coded way to identify. Otherwise, I don't think hard coding is the way to do. I mean, you put all that effort into doing noise mapping and having it look a certain way. Why have it statically place the actual resources? Okay, well, in that case, you're going to have limited replayability, but I guess that's a minor issue that isn't a concern. I mean, it's really hard to get somebody to play your mod even once. I need 8 pumps left. Yeah, Lauren, everybody does that to me too. And then I point out the replayability thing, and it's like, oh, yeah. I think I'm just done with you because you don't have the underpipe that I need. Chem plants, yes. Give me chem plants. And power poles. There. Now get out of here. Oil refineries, yes. Give me oil refineries. Good. Now get out of here. Just kidding. Just kidding. But there's really nothing else for you to do. You might be done. Soren, thank you. Hi, it's Kick. Let me give Soren a shout out. What are we playing, Soren? And for everybody joining, welcome. SEK2, the industry standard for a challenging experience. Are you enjoying SE and K2? I did SE. Or no, I did K2. I did a K2 run. I really liked K2. I thought it was a very well done mod. Good. Have you gotten to space? Well, I think it's also one of the best, most balanced. I'm in Saudi Arabia putting down oil fields or oil processing fields for science. For science. I can't argue with that. Although I do have to say that the end game thing needs a lot of power to make it work, but I thought it was pretty well balanced, but then again, I don't do many overhaul mods, so I liked it. But if power is the only issue, I think it's pretty well done. There are some intermediates that I don't care for. I mean, I like the inserter part intermediate, but I don't like the components intermediate. I think that was just a, hey, look what I can do thing. There's an old saying about take away until you can't take away anymore and still get the same results. And that's sort of what should have happened with K2 was that there should have been some things that were removed because they just didn't add anything to it. But that's a minor nit as far as I'm concerned. I need 556 of those, and I still need those 8 pumps. Where the heck are those 8 pumps that I'm missing? I'm going to need so many more, it doesn't much matter. Hi, kitty cat. Yes, it is 2 o'clock. Yes, I will be taking a break in a minute. In literally 1 minute. So I still have to figure out, I have to get water routed in here. All right, Taryn. I'm going to be taking a break, and then I'm going to come back in an hour and continue on with this. I don't have any code I need to write today. I do need to release a new version of Cities of Earth to fix a couple of bugs, but what is it that you are complaining about? Modules. Just, 1,000 modules. I need, probably 3,000 modules. And this thing is not even a quarter of the way full. These guys are working